Since 9 years, I'm actually procrastinating on building the business I say I wanted to build. It was in 2016 that I first came across this idea that you can build a business online doing what you love and not work for someone else's dream. And I resonated with that strongly. I read a lot about it. I became part of different groups. And since then, I've learned theoretically a lot about online business. And I'm quite excited about that. It's very interesting to me. And I even have some friends who do the same. And I have not built an online business since 2016. Hi, my name is Max, and the title of this video is The Real Cost of Procrastination. When I was thinking about it today, about the time that I have been spending thinking, strategizing, analyzing, wishing, being inspired by others about having my own business online, being location independent, being able to dedicate my own time to what I do, I realized that the cost of that was not just the financial, opportunity cost of not having a business, even though if I look back in the same time, I've known people who build their business to, let's say, 70,000 euros a month, which is still a sum that is out of my mind, and I'm not even at this point at all anymore comparing to that. But just wanted to say, people use the time in between last 5 years or so to really build something, to really make something for themselves that gave them freedom, financial freedom, and with that time freedom. And for me, the cost was, amongst others, not having that money, still working a job that is not too bad, but I don't enjoy it so much. And thinking forward, I'm 40 now, I have 2 kids, I'm a father, I have a partner that is wonderful. I don't want to live my life like this, living basically month to month, paycheck to paycheck, and having been not too intelligent about investing in money. And so we have a few savings, but there's not much on the high shelf for paying for the future life, let's say, or making anything big, buying anything bigger and having more possibilities. So the cost of that is palpable. A deeper layer of that cost, and you might know that if you are in a relationship and you're procrastinating on things you say you want to do, is that others believe you, your partner believes you. And when they realize that you don't hold up to your word, when you don't live up to your word, this trust is, at least in that part of your relationship, eroding a little bit, or maybe more. Maybe to the degree that they leave you. There's a story to be told about that. I will do that in another video. And that is a cost too. But what I found was the real cost of procrastinating on following my dreams, of daring, of building something for myself, is that I actually feel powerless. Feeling powerless and like not having agency in my life. Let me explain. Or rather, let me share my thought process about this. Someone I've been learning from, he's a coach, JP Morgan. He defines power as the work you can do in a given amount of time. And you are powerful when you are either being able to do more work in the same amount of time or the same work in less time. And he comes from physics, so it's a very physical way of looking at it, but I do like it. Either way, it means there's a change and hence action taken over time. When you procrastinate, you don't take action. And therefore, things don't change. You don't exert the creative power inside of you. I didn't do that for myself. And I met the same kind of inspirations and hopes and wishes and regrets and frustrations over and over and over again, not changing anything about them. For valid reasons, of course, being mentally anxious, not being able to deal with that sense of uncertainty, not knowing how things will turn out, or if the thing that I want to do is the right thing, and if it will be successful when I do that, not wanting to waste time doing the wrong thing. But that keeps me stuck. So, sense of powerlessness. And in relationship, this shows up too. What it does is it erodes trust. When my partner sees me not keeping my word, she sees me as out of integrity. I'm not, in a way, mechanically speaking, structurally speaking, I am not whole. I have thoughts and I have words that go in one direction, saying one thing, thinking one thing, but I have actions that do something totally different, being distracted or doing something that's more comfortable, or simply saying not doing the thing that I say I want to do, that I think I want to do. So internally, I am split. I'm torn apart. And I feel that because there's no force, there's no power behind my intent and my words and my thoughts, because it doesn't align. That is what I call integrity. Doing what I say, saying what I, doing what I say. What am I? Bloop. Once more. It's saying what I mean and meaning what I say, and living into the truth of the words or the thoughts that I'm speaking or that I'm thinking. So when that is not aligned, when that is not there, I'm not truthful with myself. But when that is there, then there's power in my life. Then people know they can trust me. My partner knows she can trust me. But if that is not there, it's not only the trust between her and me that is eroding, or anybody else whose word and promise I'm not keeping. Even worse than that, I'm not keeping the promise to myself. I'm not honoring my own dreams. I'm not honoring my own energy as it wants to express in the world, my own aspirations, not following my desires also. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with wanting something and exerting the power of creativity that we have. And when that happens, I don't trust myself anymore. And how I feel with this is that it's almost like a feeling like I become the victim of my circumstances. I don't trust that I can change. So at some point, I don't even really attempt it anymore. Thinking about things becomes the comfortable excuse for not doing anything and not daring anything. And rather getting lost in mental analysis and paralysis. That is the real cost. Being powerless. And of course, this is not the truth. You are not powerless. But living in that mental state, being so disconnected from your agency, you create your own powerlessness. But what I notice, and just with this, creating this video, making a step, a tiny step, having in mind that I want to use YouTube, bring out my message, hopefully being a support and a comrade to others on this journey who want to find their strength, their agency, their power to create and change something in their life in the way that they want to live it, that I find my power again. It's not lost forever. It's just seemingly lost when you're so trapped in your mind and your whole mind is dominating your overall wholesome experience of being alive. And with that, aliveness goes down, sense of adventure goes down, because basically everything that means daring something new, learning something new, trying something where you don't know if it will work, is not existing. And that means we do the same thing. I do the same thing over and over again, and life becomes boring. Life becomes dull. And that is also a cost. But for me, the real cost comes down to feeling powerless. And it has been a feeling I've been feeling for a long time. Yeah, that was the message that I just wanted to bring across. The thought that I wanted to share an experience of that in this video. And there's something connected to that, and that is whenever you then are in the position to talk about the thing that you say you want to do with someone, more and more you might notice that, at least I feel that way, that you feel ashamed, like something is wrong with you because you don't do that, because you also don't really own that you actually don't want to do it, because you still do want to do it, but you just don't do it. So there's shame there. Something's wrong with me. And there is something to be said about shame. So if you feel that shame, I invite you to watch the next video. It will probably appear here somewhere on the screen. Don't know yet how that works. I will figure it out. And I see you there, because the conversation about shame is a very fundamental one in the whole conversation about taking action and procrastination, etc. Thank you for listening in.